2001 was kind of a great year for me. I was like 8 years old and in grade 2, and nothing at all bad happened. It was in June of that same year when a very important game, especially for me, released on the Dreamcast, Sonic Adventure 2. Or Sonic Adventure Battle 2, maybe? Or Sonic Adventure 2 Battle? Sonic Adventure... That 2 is above the battle. My brother and I called it Sonic Adventure Battle 2 for our entire lives, so I'm just going to go ahead and call it that. I didn't play the game until like 2003 or something on the GameCube, but who cares? My brother and I spent so much time playing this game that 16 years later, I still know every single word to the song from the opening level. I even have a shitty cover of it on my phone. I recently decided to play through again because I bought it on Steam a couple years ago, and let me tell you, the gamepad options are terrible, and the animations are kind of terrible, and the music, by and large, just aside from the opening level, of course, is kind of weird, and Tails is just the freaking worst, right? Like, it's not just me.
This place was shut down about 50 years ago because of a terrible accident.
And everyone treats Amy really poorly, and that's super weird. But with all of that, the bad controls on this version, and the weird music and the characters, this is still an amazing game for some reason. Is it nostalgia? Probably, but, you know, I found myself constantly smiling and remembering all the great times playing it with my little brother. I mean, I also had a lot of memories of failing a jump in Tails' stupid mech thing and drowning in sand and getting really upset and taking on my brother in some way because, hey, Tails can build this incredibly super cool walking robot machine, but he can't make it not suck and jump easily to the next frickin' platform because Tails is such a huge failure. And everybody knows this, and nobody likes him. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Sonic only hangs out with him because he feels bad that Tails is such a loser and has no friends and probably has no family either.
Sonic!
Whew. What was I talking about? Oh yeah. Lots of great memories. I will say the camera sucks and I couldn't uninvert it on the PC version, so I was struggling with that the entire time I was playing, which is too bad, but in the end I guess it's not really the worst thing in the world. The level design is kind of amazing even if the cities are insane, and the story just blazes forward. At one point Sonic is fleeing law enforcement, which is a great lesson for children, but then before you know it you're playing as Tails in a prison, or Knuckles on a Halloween nightmare land, or Sonic in a pyramid, and that's all before the entire team gets blasted off into space where the real fun begins. And that's just the hero campaign. There's a whole other campaign played from the villain's point of view, including a strangely hot anthropomorphized Batwoman thing. Yeah, I still don't know how I feel about that. While we're talking about the villains, I want to talk about Shadow for a sec. I added dark red streaks to my hair in like grade 4 because Shadow had dark red streaks in his hair and I was a weird kid and wanted to be like Shadow. But Shadow was the shit. He was stone cold cool.
Farewell.
Still holds up. There is no excuse. This game is nuts and the story is crazy. And I don't really have enough time to delve into it right now, but it's insane.
According to eyewitnesses at the scene, the suspect was identified as the world-renowned hero, Sonic the Hedgehog.
What accent is that supposed to be? But the experience as a whole was awesome. It's just so much fun. It's a special kind of crazy where your buy-in has to be complete or you'll constantly get hung up on the stupid things that ultimately don't matter. So the best way to play this game is to just let it happen. There are parts of this game that are hard, especially in the PC version, and there are some control issues, and Tails is just the worst, but the game was so important to me as a kid, and I think honestly the biggest reason why was because both me and my brother bought in 100%. We loved this game. We lived this game. So if you're thinking about picking up this game 18 years later, I would highly recommend it. That being said, I would try and find it on a console if you have one, because the controls on the PC are kind of crazy. Other than that, the experience as a whole is just so much fun, and I'm really glad I dove back into it after all these years.